Hey guys, today I did a look inspired by the Sugarsweet collection, and as you can see it's more of a teal shade, so I used the Aqua eyeshadow from the collection obviously. This is also a way to wear color that's not too over the top. As you can see, it's pretty fun. I mean, you can tell that there's definitely like green and stuff, but it's something that you could actually wear out of the house or to work without feeling like you've overdone it, which I think is important because you know, I mean, you can slap on a bright colored eyeshadow up to your eyebrow and yeah, that's easy and fun and everything, but you do need to kind of know how to take that in to like more everyday situations, and I think that while this is really fun and bright, it's still really actually very wearable. So if you miss out on this collection, don't think that just because it says Sugarsweet look, you know, you can't do it, because you'll see that I don't even use that many products from the collection in this, just a few main products or whatever, but there are definitely duplicate colors. Just pay attention to the colors, they're pretty basic. You know, go out and find a brand that has a similar color if you can't get MAC, or you know, look through the stuff you've got, because you've probably got something similar to these colors. So if you want to see how to do this, keep watching. Alright, first, just to cover any discoloration, start out by applying any kind of concealer. I'm using a paint pot in Painterly, and I'm just doing that to cover up any kind of like veins or anything that are showing. If redness is more your issue, then you probably want to go with one that's a little more yellow based, like soft ochre. Alright, then I'm going to use the Shimmer Mint Shade Stick by MAC. This, I know that it is discontinued, but my MAC store still has this, so definitely check and see if they've got it. This is definitely one of my very, very favorite shade sticks, and I'm just applying that to my finger and then applying it to my eye. It makes it just a little bit easier and kind of blends it out at the same time. Then take a white kohl eyeliner like Fascinating Eye Kohl by MAC and apply it to this inner V of your eye, and just kind of start out around that tear duct area and just kind of dab it with your finger. That's just going to brighten up the inner corner. Alright, now there was a color in the collection called Sugar Shot. I didn't buy it because I have a whole lot of highlight shades anyways, and Dazzle Light is pretty darn close to that. So I'm just going to apply that with a flat brush like a 242 just to that inner area right over that white eyeliner. Apply just a little more to this inner area, kind of overlapping the shade stick and then sweeping it upward. Then I'm going to apply the teal shade, which is Aqua. I haven't depotted it yet. These that are limited edition colors from these collections don't come in the refills, unfortunately. So I'm just applying this with a flat brush. This is my Sigma 239 brush. It's a little larger than the 239 and it kind of packs on a little more color. And right into the crease area, I'm just going to kind of sweep it back and forth. Then I'm going to take a brush that's kind of precise but is a little large, if that makes sense, so that I can get right into the crease but still have a lot of precision. And for me, that's the Sigma SS 219. And I'm going to take the color Newly Minted, which is right here. Kelly also works really great. That's a pro color. So either one of those. I'm using Newly Minted. And I'm just going to apply that in the outer V area of my eye. This is a matte shade. Since I used all those frosts before, you definitely don't want to overdo it. They can start kind of blending together and you can kind of lose the intensity, I guess, and it can kind of look a little smeary. So I'm just applying that to this outer V area. And then I'm just going to lightly sweep it into the crease. Alright, so it's looking pretty bright. If you want to darken it up a bit, you can take Carbon, which is a dark matte black. Use a brush that's a little smaller. Since we're using such a dark color, we don't want it to overtake that green. So I'm going to use a MAC 219. And this one is super, super tiny. Mine is very, very pointed and small. So I'm just going to apply that right as I would like an eyeliner to this outer kind of fourth of my eye. Then I'm just going to lightly blend it upward, just slightly. Then kind of smudge it in a little bit close to the lash line again. Alright, then take that same brush that you used for the green And I'm going to use that to kind of blend it out. Okay, then take that black brush that you used again, and whatever is left over, just smudge it right up underneath your lower lash line, going in about halfway. Then add a very thin line of black liner. I'm sticking with black because I used the black eyeshadow. And I'm just using an angled liner brush. This one's from Coastal Scents. And my MAC Fluid Line in Black Track. Not going to wing it out or do anything dramatic. I just want to keep the focus on the green. And then if you want just a little bit more green, you can apply just a little bit right over where you applied the black to your lower lash line. And I'm using the Aqua again and a 242 brush. It's really flat and it just gets up under there really nicely. Alright, then I'm going to take a little bit of soft brown eyeshadow by MAC on a 224 brush and just kind of go around that outer edge of color. And it's just going to kind of warm up that area on my brow. Then for the highlight, I'm going to use a more matte shade because I've got a lot of frost going on, so I'm going to take Blank Type, which is a really light cream, and apply that right underneath my brow with a flat brush. This is a 252 by MAC. Alright, then all I'm going to do next is apply some mascara, and then I'll be back to show you what I did for the rest of my face. Okay, so for the rest of the face, obviously, you know, I've got a lot of frost going on in the eyes, and I didn't really want to do anything super frosted on the cheeks, especially since I'm going to add a little bit of my mineralized skin finish in Refined. So I chose a matte blush, and the one I chose is Sincere. If you're a little darker than me, Gingerly would work well. Gingerly works really well on me too, but Sincere is just a little lighter. You don't have to blend it out quite as much. So I find it works better on my skin tone. I'm just applying it with the Sigma SS 187 brush. But you can apply it with any type of blush brush that you want. Then I'm just going to take that same brush and use my Refined Mineralized Skin Finish. You can kind of see it looks a little peachy. It's got some nice tones that I think will work well with this blush. For me, with like aquas and greens, I don't really like to use pink blush. I think it's a little too much. You can use a very light pink blush, but I kind of prefer on me using more of like a peachy toned blush, so that's why I chose this. And I'm just kind of lightly sweeping that across my cheeks. I'm staying away from this area right here because I definitely don't want, you know, you don't want it to settle into your pores. You don't want it to look really apparent, especially since this is kind of more of a frosted product. So it just adds a little bit of highlight to your cheeks and puts down a little bit of color. For my lips, I used another color from this collection. It's called Lollipop Loving, and it's kind of a sheer color, but it's like a pretty peachy coral, and the frost in it is almost green. It's like a goldish green frost, so I think that's really pretty. If you have that, you have got to get Nymphette lip gloss. It's the perfect complementing lip gloss or gloss shade for that lipstick. So those look great together, and that's what I'm wearing. So I think that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I'll definitely be doing another Sugarsweet look soon with the pink, and I will talk to you all very soon. Bye. Let me think. I also used the but it's something that you could actually wear out of the. For my lips, I used Lollipop Loving, which is also a color from this collection. Look at him, like shaking.